Hello everyone and welcome to my learning studio. So today we'll be learning about our next data types, built-in data types that Python provides, which is binary data types and none type. So as in all these slides, I have always included these slides for data types, which shows the list of all the built-in data types. So currently we have actually gone through all these data types. I have shown you the string data type, string type, int, float, complex. We have gone with sequence types also, list, tuple, mapping type also, dictionary we have closed, set type also we have understood. We have seen the code also around that, boolean also we have finished. Now today it is the binary types, which is byte and byte array, okay, and none type. So these two are the last remaining ones that we'll cover today. Fine. So now what exactly we have seen in our earlier videos, that how do we choose these containers. So all what everything is about. So variables, they are actually we are storing it in a particular box, right? Now Python gives us what type of correct container we need to have. Now if the variable has a single value, we go with, and what type of data we want to store, either string or int, right? But if you have a list of values and you want to save it in the same container, one container but with bifurcations, right? Box, 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 just like our locker room. So it is list. And if it is editable and you not need an ordered data, so it is list. But if it is a data where you are not going to change the values or edit the values, you will go with tuple. Then you need a number sequence, it is range. Okay, so range is an internal built-in function that is provided. Okay, next, whenever you want a key value lookup, it is dictionary, we go with dictionary. Whenever you want unique values, so we go with set. And immutable unique values, that means set is a mutable object, that means you can change the values. But if you want that unique values but they should not be changed, we go with frozen set, correct? Now today we'll be looking at binary processing. So binaries are what I'll cover in the next slide. So binary processing, two types, data types we have, bytes and byte arrays, and need some absence of value. So if there is no value, what do we go with? None type, which is none. Okay, so we move on to our first slide of today, which is what is binary data. So now everything in computers, you know that at the base level it is represented as zeros and ones. Only two values that represent everything is zeros and one. But there are combinations of zeros and ones when we go deeper into it. So each character is represented as a see here, if you see character A in at the base level bytes, so it is a combination of 0 and 1, correct? So now this is this actually here, if you see text hello, text.encode. Now what is this encode? So basically in computers, when a first character, there are layers basically till you go to the memory object, that is this bytes, right? So first, whenever we see this is an A, character A, that humans understand. I understand this A. If I tell you Unicode 65, you won't understand anything, right? We want to make things easier for us, right? But when we say Unicode 65, this is a unique ID, numerical value representing character A in our computer. Okay, so the steps for this is, how does it store to this? Always the character is first converted into Unicode, that is a unique identity code. Okay, which is for every character it has a particular Unicode, and then the encoding is done. Encoding is the conversion of this Unicode, this character, into your binaries, your byte code, which is saved into the memory. Okay, so this is the process, complete full pipeline. So now character to memory, we have already seen, I showed you there, right? Character to memory, how text is stored. First, character is converted to Unicode, Unicode to encode. Now Unicode, it can we can have three formats: hexadecimal, decimal, or binary here. Now that by this binary and encoding binaries are different. Okay, we will see that in Visual Studio Code how they are different later on. Now encoding means, what does it mean? Method to convert your Unicode characters into bytes for storage or transmission. So whenever your character A needs to be saved in the memory on your machine, they have to be saved as ones and zeros. So we have to convert those characters. It is not A written there, right? Because actually your memory is like a, you can say, it is representation of a bulb, either on or off. So when it is on, it is 1. When it is off, it is 0. Okay. So hence, now here everything, all the characters, everything have to be stored in, changed into bytes for storage, or even if I'm sending some data, it goes in the byte format. Okay. So encoding formats, we have UTF-8, UTF-16 and UTF-32. So depending upon the bytes, how many bytes of code. So these three are different. Okay. For example, your 1 byte is 8 bits, right? So now there are rules when that UTF-8, UTF-16 and UTF-32 follow. Right now I'll just tell you overall here itself. Later on, if you wanted, you ping me, we'll go deeper into this if needed. Okay, so this is basically what Unicode and encoding is. So here we have already seen where we are using Unicode encoding. First, the character, it is converted to Unicode, which is a code, a unique code representing this character, that is encoded into a memory UTF-8 or UTF-16 or UTF, using the either of these format. It is converted into bits, and those bytes are saved into your memory. Okay. So here it is getting encoded. Okay, this hello is a string which is getting encoded. That means it goes into that is binary data. That represents your binary format. Okay. Next, here we have seen this slide. Moving on to the next slide here. So what happened when we did hello? This string basically is converted into Unicode characters and then abstract text in memory. But what happens when it is a B hello? B, this is small b. Okay, here typo error, please. Here what exactly I want to highlight here is small b represents that binary byte hello. So this is we have already seen how do we create a string object. We just assign the variable with inverted commas and hello. But if I want that data type as bytes, what do? I write a small b here, inverted close inverted commas hello. So this represents, Python understands this is bytes or data type. Okay. So it needs to create a bytes data type. So that is bytes, which is actual binary value in the memory. Okay. So here this is storage layer and this is meaning layer. That means this is hello is actually, if you print hello data, here it will be the character representation. If you see here, features, hello string type, and this is bytes. So what does this store? Stores Unicode characters. That means unique representation of this is stored. But when you say bytes, it will store the actual raw bytes values into the memory. Meaning, now this is human text hello, but this is actually the binary data. Internal form, this is Unicode form internal, and here internal means in the RAM while Python accesses, this is Unicode, and here it is after encoding whichever UTF-8 format if we have used, it will take UTF-8 format or 16 or 32. So this is after encoding. Okay. Index results. Now character H, if I find the arrays index 0, it will give me H. But if I go with index of this, it will give me the byte value. That is, this would give me the Unicode value. Okay. that is the Unicode representation, not H. It won't print H. So this we will see in our Visual Studio, all this how it works. Okay. So one line of truth, Unicode binary means what? Representation of code point number. Even if you want to understand how we calculate the Unicode binary number, how computer actually does, you can ping me. I will go deeper into it. Okay, but right now let's say just understand that what is Unicode. It is a unique identity representation in the numerical format. Okay, for each character. It can be character, emojis, your language. For example, alphabets, Arabic alphabets are different and our English alphabets are different, Turkish alphabets. So all those have unique representation format. Now for Unicode also, it can be any of these. There are three formats we can use. That is hexadecimal, decimal or binary. So here encoding. Unicode binary and encoding binary, please note they are not the same. They are not the same except for ASCII characters, which is by coincidence. So I won't go deeper here, but remember when I say Unicode binary, it represents representation of code point number, and encoding binary is actual bytes that we are storing in the memory. Okay. Next, so binary in computers. So we had one question, why computers use binary, right? So we are answering that question here. So we have understood this representation of data as bytes. We have seen all data in computers stored and processed as binary digits 0 or 1. Binary means 0 and 1 only. So here first the smallest unit is called bits, 0 bits or 1 bit. 8 bits make up 1 byte, right? So 2 raised to 8 if you do, how much it comes out to be? 256 combinations, right? So we have 0 to 255. Example of 1 byte is, see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 boxes are here, right? So this is 1 byte, correct? 8 bits. And each is called a bit, correct? Now, so here if I have a data type, then here I am covering data type. How data is represented in binary, how it is represented in binary. This is the different types of data that are available, right? Now this is not Python data, I am saying this is the actual data that is coming. It can be text ABCDFG or your name, number, decimal, any number, image it can be, or audio or video or file. All this data is coming from real world. So example here I have taken for text, it can be A. So binary representation would be this. Number 25, but binary representation is this. Okay. Image, it is pixels here. Now how is this stored? This is stored ASCII value. Here this is stored as decimal 25 in binary. Here image pixels, these are combinations and ones and zeros, and each pixel is stored as binary values. Okay, binary values. Here even audio is stored as binary samples, means combination and one and 0. Video also same. Files also same, stream of bytes. Okay, and even for now real world data, all this pictures, this we'll go with in Visual Studio. When I show you, I'll show you the real representation, how files and these are actually binaries. Okay, now what do we do? Convert to first these are converted to binaries and then they are stored into the computer as bytes. Okay. Now, why do we use binaries? Because it is most reliable, efficient and practical way to process data electronically. And electronically, we have only two states. As I said, on and off. Bulb is on and off. High voltage, low voltage. So it is either 0 and 1. So when we are working with only two states, we can have two values representing them. That is 0 or 1. Okay. And these two states are easier to design, understand and make error free. So even for noise immunity, it has less affected by electrical noise compared to multiple levels. Efficient storage and processing. So binary makes it easy to store, compress, transmit and process data using hardware and software. And logical operators, if you have seen, not, and, or, all these are logical operators, right? They are simple with binary. Okay, so basic logical operations become simple. Universal standards. Now binary is the foundation of all, so this is a universal standard, that binary is the foundation for all digital systems, programming, computer. So binary built-in types are two types, bytes and byte array. This is not a data type, but I will be covering memory view also, which is a type, a built-in type given by the Python, but it's not a data type here. It's a class that we have available. I'll tell you what is the importance of that later on. But it's important because it is related to binary. Hence by built-in types, so I'll be covering this in this session also. So there are two binary data types, bytes and byte array. What is the difference? Bytes is immutable binary data and byte array is mutable binary data. Mutable we have seen, that means it can be changed, and immutable means you cannot change, you cannot change it, right? Now bytes is what cannot be changed after creation, but it uses less memory. It is faster and safer. Examples are images, API response, encrypted data. All these are bytes. When we are storing it, it all goes into the it all basically saved. Okay. So how do we actually create this? B is equal to, now if the small b is not there, Python will create a string data type for this. But as soon as the small b is prefixed to the string, Python understands that this what we want to create is actually a byte data type. Okay, so the variable will store a byte, which is, and this we'll see how this works. When we print it, it will come as b hello. So byte array, it can change after creation. Okay, you can edit it, and but it uses slightly more memory, flexible for updates. What is the example? Streaming buffers, network packets, all those places we use those. Okay, and how does it alive? If you see BA and open close square bracket 0. If I say 74, this 74 is actually the Unicode decimal in the decimal format. Okay, 74 for J. So as soon as you write BA of 0, so what is your, I have said array representation, right? So this is a sequence of numbers. 0 will represent your H. So H will be removed and J will be added there. So it will become Jello. Okay. Now view memory, what it does, actual data what is stored in your memory, it will just give a memory view. It will directly give you access to this original memory space and you can see it. Okay, so this is what memory view does. Why is it important? Because in most of the actual real world applications, what happens is a huge amount of data sometimes needs to be processed. So rather than creating that same copy, it will take a lot of important, it's not cost effective, memory effective. So what we do is, rather than creating a copy, we just have that visual from there. Okay, so it's a slice so to the original data. So there we'll in the next coming slides I'll actually explain deeper into this. So next here we see bytes type, right? So we have seen what bits is and bytes are, but this is a bytes data type which is actually given in Python. So binary types, it stores everything in zeros and one. Bits, here the bytes is, this is the data type which is actually an immutable sequence of bytes. Okay, that means the combinations of ones and zeros, but it is immutable. You cannot edit or change it. Hence the operations on this would be, you can create it, you can access it, you can slice it, but you cannot edit it. Nowhere you see there is no code for editing it right here. So bytes, how do you create the object? So data is equal to b and open close hello. So this variable will store a byte. see here, if you print byte, so here it would be your actual byte representation is stored there. Now I had first only explained it to you. Whenever you have a byte, first it is a Unicode value, and then Unicode is changed into encoding, and then finally the encoded ones and zero combinations is saved in the memory, right? So this is just how we'll see through all this in our Visual Studio, all this code. How do you create bytes, variables that store byte data, then accessing, how do you access print data of 0, see here hello, but the output is 72. Why? Because whenever you are accessing, it is binary representation, byte, right? So this is the Unicode value in decimal. So by default, Python gives you Unicode in decimal format, okay? Decimal format. So H represents 72, E represents 101, L will be some number. So these are numerical representation, right? Unicode. Then slicing, same. Slicing would be that is similar to your 0 to 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, correct? But the third element is not included in that. Common methods are data.upper, data.decode, so encoding and decoding, correct? So once you're encoded, if you want to, you can also decode that. Real world examples. So where do we do this? Reading image data. So what is this here? I have with open. So you use a with keyword for when you open it. Opening image. This open is basically your internal. You have your function that you are calling and passing these parameters. Image dot. So what does open take? It takes the image value RB. This is your reading. For what are you opening it, right? And as file. So what type of object it is? File. So file, once it is the file, with the file object you also have read method. So file dot read will read the read your values, and you can actually print, or this is basically just here we are reading it, okay? And it is typing image underscore data, what type of data it is. So it will give that whatever is read, because it's an image, it will be in the form of bytes, right? Because it is saved as bytes. Image, whatever we see, they are saved as bytes, okay? So now moving on to the next one. What is byte array? So byte array is basically sequence of values in the bytes, but they are mutable. Mutable means you can change those, right? You can edit those. So obviously you can create byte arrays. So for bytes we had used b hello. Here what we do, byte array and constructor, and you pass that bytes in that. So it is converted to byte array. Now you have accessible, it is accessible to edit it. So what you will do, since it's an array, you can always use the index value. So H, you have in your control over this, right? Data of 0, 74 equals to 74. You're overwriting. I already told you what is the 74. It is the Unicode in decimal format. For what? J. So it will change to J. See, your output H has been changed to J. This is how you can actually modify your byte data, okay? Then adding bytes. If I want to add hello exclamatory, what I will do, data.append, and exclamatory Unicode value is 33. So I will write 33, and it will see while printing byte array, it will give me colon. It will give me exclamatory mark, okay? So where are byte arrays used? So they are used in networking packets, video streaming, IoT devices, everywhere wherever you need to edit, update byte data. Okay. So memory view. What is memory view? It is a built-in. It comes with Python basically, so no imports. So built-in type which provides direct access to binary data. It will provide your access to binary data. Now without memory view, if you do, what you have to do, you will actually copy the same original data and create a copy and then do whatever you want here. But with memory view, what you have access to the direct original data. Okay, you can view a slice of it. So for viewing. Now, what makes it special? It is not a data type like int or string in everyday use, but it is a view object type. Okay, memory view object type. It works with bytes like objects, bytes and byte arrays. Okay, hence I have covered this here. And so if you see, it is memory efficient because we are not creating one more copy of it, no duplicate memory. Then here if we are creating a duplicate copy, it is memory inefficient, correct? Then it is faster also, and it has low memory and time overhead, hence it is efficient. Okay, this is efficient for bytes and byte arrays, numpy arrays, right? All these things are used in machine learning where heavy computation is required. Okay, so now if you see, this is large amount of data, bytes. So what we will do, if I do this large colon 1000, after 1000 it creates a copy. But when you use memory view, it will not create a copy. It will give you direct access to that huge data. Okay. Yeah. So here, if you see, where is it used? Machine learning, data science, video processing, network services. So wherever huge amount of computation is needed, we use memory view. Okay. Now, these two are important concepts, encoding and decoding. So text, if you see, string, when you are doing string to bytes, what I had told you, you need to encode, right? We have seen the complete life cycle of a character, no? Character A, then Unicode, then encoding, and then it is the last one is it saves it into the memory space. So here, when I do text.encoding, this is actually converting it to the binary bytes UTF-8 format. Okay, and we print the binary here. So we'll see all this in our Visual Studio, how things work. Okay, and I'll give a link here so that you can actually see how these processes, this processing is done in the Visual Studio Code. So here, if you see byte to string, what if I have bytes? This is binary because B and Python, as soon as B comes into picture, it is bytes data type, right? So if I give a bytes data type, binary dot decode, what it does, it would give you print text. Okay, UTF. So decode is used to decode our binary. Here encoding is used to encoding it into the binary. Okay, API communications, where is it used? API communications, right? So basically we convert that into zeros and ones, correct? Okay. Next, binary file handling. So reading binary files, image files are binary files, right? Videos are binary files. So how we use it for binary reading binary files. So this is how we read it. Okay, binary reading binary files. Writing binary files. This is how we write binaries. W is for write and binary files. So where is it done? Real world application, backup softwares, file upload systems, multimedia applications. That is where we use binary file handling. Okay. What is none type? Now none type, there is something like there are no values only. So how do you work with that? Okay, we will get exceptions, correct? Whenever you're storing something in the data, if you have name of the person, if you have surname of the person, but the age is not there, address is there. So what will go into the database if there is no age that the person has given? So rather than just inverted commas, what we can store? A none, N-O-N-E, none, which is a none type, which represents absence of a value. Okay, that means the value is absent. So here, if you see x is equal to none, print x, none. Now print type of none, none type. That means Python understands that the value is absent. Okay. Why none exists? Because no value is when no value is available, we just reserve that space as none. So as soon as that user inputs his age, that none will be replaced by the value that the user has sent or updated. Okay. So here return value of a function. So I have showed you that how to write we have a proper definition for a function, right? This is a function. Define is the keyword which defines the function. This is the name of the function. Open close bracket, you can send the parameters that you want to use here, right? Since there is no processing going on in this, it's just greeting. So I will be just writing print hello. And it is not doing other than that, it is not even returning any value here, right? So what is the return type for this? It is none. Okay, that means the return type is none here, using none as a default parameter. So if you see here, this is the parameter. Database is a variable that basically when we call this function, we will have to pass the database value for the database. But since you need to have a default value here, what you will assign it as is equal to none. Not you won't keep it empty, because what? So that internally there would be an exception, right? If the user does not pass anything, an exception will break. So default value is none. Then processing is done here. Now real value examples, default. So this is where recipient is none. If recipient is none, print recipient is missing. So we'll handle it this way. Fine. So even in none in database. So this is one more place where if there is, as I told you, we are getting some data from the user, and if there is something that the user does not fill in, rather than going empty values, that means inverted commas or nothing at all, none. So this represents that place is reserved for a value, but it is not there. So here in Python we type it as none, but in SQL this none type is saved as null, null values. They are called no values. Okay, because even 0 has a value, like 0 is some representing something, right? Correct. But here none means absence of a value. So even in API response, middle name, if middle name is not present, it will none, we will use none there. Okay, so field exists but value is unavailable. So these are some of the places where none was used. Comparing with none. Now how do you compare? I have shown you the operators, right? If condition is used, where this is comparison operator, double equal to, is equal to, but this is the wrong way of doing it. We have to avoid this. How do we, the correct way of comparing none is why? Because it checks the identity for that value, and it is faster and recommended way of doing it. Okay, so how they work together in real world? So real world we use all, in an example there might be that you're using all of this. Okay, user uploads the file, so the image, video or PDF etc., which are in the binary representation. Okay, then you want to read those bytes, so file is read in binary mode, RB, binary mode reading. Binary bytes objects are taken. I want to modify them, so data can be modified using byte array only. Correct. So we will be using that. Efficiently accessing, and since there is huge amount of data, so we'll use memory view also. Without copying, you're accessing the memory view and then sending the data over network in the byte format. Okay, so and if there are some data that are missing, they are actually used, what do we represent them as? None. Okay, so in real world all these concepts may be used at the same time also. Okay, now revision sheet. Bytes versus byte array. Bytes is immutable, byte array is mutable. Why memory view? Because accessing binary data without copying. What is encoding? It converts a string to bytes. Text versus binary file. Characters versus raw bytes. Means texts are characters A, But binary file, your raw bytes, one combinations and of 1 and 0, right? What is none? Represents absence of value. There is no value, we use none. None versus 0. None means no value, but 0 is a numerical value, right? On our number line, you have negative values, positive values, and 0. So 0 is actually a numeric value, but none means no value. Empty. Okay, is none versus equal to none. So we will use is, right, for our comparison. Identity check. And this just checks value check, right? Double equal to checks value check. So we won't use this. We will use identity check for none. Optional value can be a type or none, right? So none versus false versus empty. Now this is what this is. It just inverted comma means. First, none means absence. False means boolean false, right? And this means empty text. There is empty text is going inside, correct? Between inverted commas. Hence, absence of value should always be none. So complete Python built-in container family, we have seen all of them, right? We have gone through all those in our previous sessions also, and now today we have completed all the data types here, built-in data types. Bytes, byte arrays, none types. So here bytes we have seen how everything, reading, image, files, network, communication, these are immutable. How do we create? Using b as the prefix, or you can use the bytes constructor, right? Supports indexing, slicing, and many methods, but this does not allow us to update it or add it or edit it, but we can do the same in byte arrays, correct? So it was a sequence of bytes, mutable sequence of bytes. None type represents absence of value, or so in SQL database language it is null value, correct? Now, so in the end, this slide gives you that I will be taking a proper complete code session on byte array memory view. This I will be creating maybe tomorrow, and then I will be attaching it as a card on this video, okay, for your access. So with this, I have completed my session for today. Thankful, grateful, blessed. Guys, keep working, keep coding, keep building, and keep growing. Bye for now. Have a great day ahead.